Hello and welcome again to Steve Longstay Vintage Radio Workshop, where some come to look at for various reasons. And I was given this recently. It's a pilot Little Meastro. It was a series of these sets. We had one recently actually, which I had two knobs on the front because the tuning knob also did the wave change. This is the version with three knobs, as you can see. 1, 2, 3. Can't we see? And it came out at about the same time. So let's see what it does. So it's on, and look on the back, and we see that valves are lighting up. So that's something. And apart from that little crackle, there's nothing else. So let's get into the back and let's have a look, shall we? Simple thing, of course. These always are 2 screws, and away comes the back. So 2 screws, so 1 screwdriver required. Take out these 2 screws, and whether will or it won't is a problem at this point. So that comes out. That comes out, and yes, I know all people who say don't plug stuff in straight away, but I don't care. Life's too short. So that comes out. That comes out. This comes off here. Some out. There we go. That'll do. And we'll have a look inside and see what's going on there. Well, first of all, there's a little bit of rough, nothing to worry about. That's got warm, so obviously doing something. And that's the transformer. 2 other valves, which are B7G series. This one appears to be AC only, which means therefore that it's easier and a bit safer to put you know, various things on it like Bluetooth, but that's not something I'm particularly fond of doing, so I don't. I'm going to at some point, I know, but not just yet. That's doing now. Okay, out it comes, and let's see what it is and is it doing. First of all, we know that the valve light up, but that doesn't mean anything, because if it's on a circuit like this, the chances are the heaters are in parallel. So we can prove that by just whipping one out like that, and guess what? The rest of them basically go out. So these obviously are likely to be in series, but we're more likely to be, very likely to be in series. So we put that back in, and it comes back up again. That's it, out to toe. So this is one of the sets where I don't know actually, because that to me looks like a mains transformer. That's the 8-volt there, that's the mains transformer there. Hang on, I'll just pull it in and show you. Hang on a sec. With the thing on and in and not working at all, that I think is probably going to be a mains transformer. That's the 8-put transformer there. Okay. One of these two is the 8-put valve, and these two and that one are the demodulator valve and first IF. This is the IF valve, and this is the frequency changer or heptode or whatever it is. Always, usually, you go from here to here, from right to left, but it varies from set to set, so that's not always the case. So yeah, but it's not doing very much at all. So thing what to find out is why it's not doing very much, because it should be. So knobs off the front and off the side here, and let's have a look inside and see exactly what's going on and exactly what that is. If it's not getting hot, which is a good thing, and it looks at looking inside, I get the impression that somebody's been here before, because one or two of these capacitors in here don't seem to be 100% new. So this could be interesting. The knobs on this have been glued on, so that's something which I will come to once electronics are sorted out. And this, actually, I've managed to get something out of it. That's as loud as it goes. So I'll whip it off. And look under here. That's been changed in 1966. This one, maybe somebody had woke up on this. That needs to be changed. I think that's that one, that one, that one, and that one. But the one that really needs to be looked at, in all seriousness, is this here, underneath here, because this is probably the one which is, shall we say, causing the problems. I don't know about with the volume, but certainly the distortion. Because if that one goes short circuit, it will put extreme pressure on the 8-put transformer and the 8-put valve. So always change that, which is what we're going to do. Now also with I think it's a pentode valve, I just checked, but whatever sort it is, a pentode or a tetrode, I'm not sure which off the top of my head here. The anode and the second grid will be tied to mains. Now if one of them is low for any reason, it will result in low volume, as would the cathode resistor being high if there is one. Some there are, some do not, and of course possibly the valve itself, so we don't know. So the first thing I'm going to do here is put a meter around about this and see what is where and what is and what isn't, as it were. So that goes on there like that. That goes on. That goes on to there like that. That goes on. And look what we get on there. Now, I bet this will be. Oh, I bet this will be high. If it's not, then. Yeah. So it's 23 volts or something on that side, which is low actually, and very little, literally nothing on this side actually. But I'm going to change this anyway. Now if that's low, then of course it will be low for the day. So also let's have a look at the can look around here and see what's where. Ah, okay, let's see what that is, shall we? 260 volts, that's there, okay. Now from there, if we look around here, we should find 188, okay. Don't know what that is there. Once again, so they're both okay. So I think the first thing I'll do is change this capacitor here, the green capacitor, and see if that brings it up any. It should do to some extent anyway. So the thing we'll do first of all is swap that one out, because that's the one which people often say quite rightly is the bad one, as it were. So out it comes with its grease and goodness knows what, which I know I shouldn't buy Premier trousers, but they're only trousers. This is a radio. Got to have things the right way around in life. So that goes out of there. And now, of course, I'll look at that again now, and we'll see exactly what. Okay. Okay, so it goes on to there. Now, there are more than one way of doing this. I prefer to not to muck about with the soldering of the set unless I really have to, because it's been there for a long time, and if it's bad, then change it. If it doesn't, then let sleeping faults lie, as Leslie Jones said in Television Magazine, and he's quite right. People do that, and you know. So, what is this? I bet you it's something at 0.1. 0.00 200 volts, okay, fine. So 0.001. How did I guess? Because it's always round about there, that's how. It's always around there. So I'll put another 0.01 in, and then we'll try it again and see what that is like. Always change that capacitor. Don't muck about trying to find out what voltage or is across it or anything like that. If you don't want to, just change it, because it's amazing the effect it has.
Following the assassination attempt on Donald Trump, Little has been facing questions at a congressional committee and admitted the shooting.
That is just one capacitor.
Failure.
The Secret Service's solemn mission is to protect our nation's leaders. On July 13th.
Isn't it amazing? But that capacitor does so much, and it can do so much damage as well. But that one has to be changed with it any shadow of a doubt. Also, this one is a favourite as well. The volume control, particularly if the volume control is crackly, swap that one. But even if it's do a bare minimum, change that capacitor. That is one capacitor which needs to be changed. I mean, that one capacitor, and look at the radio. Anyway, from there now, let's have a see what the voltages are like, because we need to know basically. So on it goes again, like that. And like that. Can you see that? No, good if I stood it up.
Generating electric currents which split seawater into hydrogen and oxygen.
He is Brian Cox. Hello. And he understands science. I'm Robin Ince, and I don't understand it quite so much. Could he tell us something about the nature of matter? No. Okay, good.
Together, we'll be joined by a collection of expert and non-expert guests.
What's going on? Don't worry. Taking a look at some of the most wonderful things in the scientific world.
Science with Funny Bits. The Infinite Monkey Cage on Radio 4 and BBC Sound.
Now that means to me that is now okay.
Welcome to Live Cricket with me, Henry Moran. Gordon Smart will be here from 10 p.m. discussing the big news stories of the day, including more reaction to Joe Biden's decision not to seek re-election as US President. But for the next hour, we're talking cricket in the...
There you go, knock that down, there we are. I'll have a little look around this next one, because that there is very, very low, much lower than it should be. So,
beating the West Indies by 241 runs at Trent Bridge, securing that unassailable 2-0 lead in the 3-Test match series. We didn't really tell the full story, though, up until yesterday afternoon. That was a very competitive Test match.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? It was fascinating. The first opportunity for play without the great James Anderson. I thought West Indies actually played a really good game up until the moment that they subsided. Very quickly. I've been involved in a number of games like that. We're on the afternoon.
I think the next thing we do is change that other capacitor there and give that a spray. That knob a spray with the good old. This stuff, by the way, is a WD-40 concretely, and I find it rather good. So that's what I use. So we simply. What I do, if you ever not sure how to get in, is just spray it about like a madman. Like that. Okay. And down here too. Like that. And then back and forth and back and forth. And what that does is it cleans out the pot inside. Like that. Okay, so sometimes there's something inside to spray which is there, so put a little bit in there and do the same again, like that. Dead simple. So now if we put it on again now and see what it's like.
Showed that they'd actually learned a big lesson, and I thought they bowled better lengths at times. It was amazing how well England played against them, but I thought they bowled better lengths. I thought they showed a lot more patience with the bat.
The days maybe a week before the Olympics started, I was just like jaw on the floor. Like, unbelievable. The craziest night ever. You at the table? No, they weren't actually. Loads of people were taking pictures of them. A flash went off. My mate had his phone in his hand, and Kevin Durant went ballistic at him, saying, "Don't take photos of me." And my mate was like, "I didn't. It wasn't me. It wasn't." And he just.
Now that should go down to 0, but if it doesn't, it's not too bad.
Incredible night of my life, way back in 2012.
Then,
I told you I wasn't boring.
Cricket, Paul would have had Jason Seals at Sussex, who has been brilliant this year.
It is.
And he looked by far the best.
Okay to leave it.
First test, didn't he? And ended up with.
Well, having said that, that can be caused by the first amplifier, which is this valve here, giving a little bit of a problem. So anyway, next thing we'll do is change this little blighter here, because I think it needs it. Now with that change, things are better still. This is long wave and Radio 4.
She remembered the glass necklace under her shirt.
She suddenly sort of goes hysterical. So, oh dear, this is all terrible. I just can't cope, and started grabbing at her necklace.
Which is also rather good. The trouble, of course, nowadays with these sets is that the band isn't full of music stations anymore. There's a couple on here, but they're for courier stations, you know. But yeah. Anyway, so now I'll have a look, see if those two are okay. The smoother, obviously, is because there's no hum on this at all, so I might as well leave it, you know. And also these here. Now one of these here is going to be the AGC, which needs to be changed as well. So whichever one it is, I don't know at this stage, but we need to find that out. I changed all three of those because all three went to the same earth points and they're all local, so I changed all three. I said the new ones are slightly bigger actually, probably because they take more voltage. But one thing I will show you very quickly is why did people want to change these holy capacitors? Well, because they're crap. I don't know if you can see that. I'll just okay, you see that? That's cracked right across. And that was the AGC capacitor. So out it came.
Optimistic, or do you find it slightly underwhelming? I think anything was involved in you.
And now, of course, on all both bands, we should now have the signal. That's Radio 4 along with. Now that is slightly in the wrong place. So that's the next thing we need to address, is why that's like that. Now, with this lot seemingly okay under here, I'll do some checks to make sure it gets a circuit diagram, which we'll show you before this video ended. But this end here is very important too, because what this end does, RF and IF end. Now, between power supply to the pentode, the resistor in the way, which I will check, and also check on these here. I'm afraid this one doesn't have voltage on it, but valves are very tolerant that way, so surprising what they can and can't put up with. So that goes onto there like that, and in it we should have a big capacitor or two, a big resistor or two. We do it these here. No, none of them. It should be 1K across those two. 1K across those two it should be. Now, going into it, we know it's about 260 volts. So if we do that again very quickly. And wait until it comes up.
In a day and a half.
So they will spend a lot of money so we can all get to know her. So I think, if we have this debate in about a month, we will have a very different view about who
try
she
that again.
is.
What is the person we're getting to know? I think that's the great unformed thing, because she ran, of course, for the Democratic nomination back in 2020, and her campaign, I think it is fair to say, was disastrous. It was appalling. It fell apart before she got to Iowa. That meeting in the snow,
so
where you have the caucuses and the initial sort of...
Therefore, looking at that, we should have 227 volts on pin 3 of the output. Not a pentode on this, it's a tetrode. And also there's 4.7k as well before we go to pin 8, which I think might well be this one here. So therefore, if we look at the pentode here, we should have 2 pins, one with about 200 volts on it, one with the results of our own. So let's have a look and see what's where. Okay, now T66 there, okay.
I don't know whether she can win, although I do think momentum is incredibly important in politics, and she might just catch a wave.
106, 105 there, okay. That's interesting, that, because that suggests to me that this resistor here is up in value. Getting warm, which of course it should do, but it appears to be rather, I mean, that value might be right, but it seems a little bit low to me, that. Let's have a look at this then, shall we? Because this resistor appears to be the one that might be higher. I mean, the thing works okay, but sometimes it's worth making sure things like this, you know. So I'll put that to 20k like that, and put that there, and we should get these don't often go faulty, but when they do, it can be fun. So has that shot up and I mean, it's rare for a wire wind to do that. It really is. But it might be worth checking that out of circuit. So what I'll do, I'll find the suitable positions for it to pick it up, and we'll go from there. There's one thing which you must watch for on things like this, and it's happened on this circuit actually. I'll show you when I get it up. Well, first of all, from the cathode of the rectifier valve, we get that there, and that there. So we know from that that's okay and that's okay. So they're okay for you. Right, okay. Now, on the output pentode valve here, it said on the manual pin 8, but it isn't pin 8 at all. And I'm not quite sure which one it is. Now, when this happens, what you do is you look and sort of what valve is in it very quickly, which you can simply do by sitting and looking at the valve in question, which is a valve. Hang on, it's come on, out it come. With these, by the way, you always grip the bottom and pull. very important that you do that, because if that's why the bottom like they are. It sometimes takes a bit, but you get it in the end. This is don't want to come. Turn the light on it, does help. .35 L6 GT. Okay, 35 L6 GT. Okay, that means therefore that the valve I thought it was isn't the valve. It actually is. Yeah, I thought it was a 50 Ls, but it's not. It's 35 L6 GT. Okay, so go back underneath, and we'll with it the right way up. There we go. And we'll have a look at this valve here. And also, we go online and we get the we get the 35 L6 GT valve up. I use Valve Museum, by the way, and it tells us that it's on pin 4, not pin 8. Now that means therefore that I've been barking up the wrong tree here, because on here, first of all, I don't know whether I don't actually see what the valve is on this actually. Seriously, it doesn't. But also there's 2 pin 8s, one for the second grid and one for the cathode. So obviously that is wrong. So that goes like that, goes back around there like that, and from therefore it goes to there, I think, and we'll check that by going from there to here, and there should be okay, we'll go from here then, in that case. So from here to pin number 4, .11K. Okay, again, I'm not entirely happy with that either, I must admit. How about that one? Okay, that's it. Obviously goes to there, so it's that one. Okay, yeah, so that, okay, so that is in fact alright. So 100 volts is low, but it appears to be alright as far as we can tell here. Now going back to the circuit, therefore, that goes on, and what should there be? On both sides of that resistor, when it comes up, of course. That knob box a bit of a spade, doesn't it? Okay.
That collection of shelters is surrounded so strange. And who's put the flags there?
The settlers who tried to scare the family. This is the old man we're going to meet. Hi.
Assalamu alaikum.
Abu Khairi, you can call him Abu Khairi.
Hi, nice to meet you. This is an elderly man in a black jacket. A Czech kefir.
Mustafa here? What is he? The first thing, like one night, the settlers came with the goats and his sheep. And even later they was coming with the Israeli military and they asked him to leave. They are not allowed to be there. Come one time to try to the wheat.
Plow the land.
Yeah. And Abu Khairi, he just sleep, you know.
There's nothing on that at all.
You lay down in front of the tractor. Weren't you scared?
I will die just one time.
There's more rather different looking people arrived in it.
My name is Meila Michelle. I'm a Jordan Valley activist. It's an ad hoc group of about 200 people. Our main goal is to help the local community stay on their lands. Maybe our presence is intimidating the settlers that are contemplating coming here to harass. Came herders in order to take the land.
Stay here all night. And Rashid and I are bedding down too, slightly nervously, to see what happens.
It's
Really
there.
dark apart from this chain of lampposts on top of the hill, which is the settlement
It's there.
across the valley.
Right. A few months ago, this boy, 2 o'clock in the morning,
Then why
he arrived
isn't
with
it here?
a tractor.
It must be.
But this is like surreal.
Not here.
Somebody came to the hill in the middle of the night. Thank God.
Yeah. It's not surreal over here.
Think,
This is the reality here.
Give that spade a
So
sec.
the activists that were here on guard that night were attacked by them.
11 o'clock at night. The activists now rolled out their sleeping bags. You can't hear much now apart from occasional coughing of the sheep in their enclosure. Okay, good night. It's only 10 to 2 in the morning. And all night. Leaders of Top 10, settlements across the valley,
Well, that's
told me
interesting
they don't
too.
encourage violence or send anyone to
I get the impression there's not as much voltage as there should be on there. Now, looking at the circuit again, I'll bring it up for you in a second. That could be the 470k R7 that's doing funny things to us. It isn't, when you're repairing radios, one thing to be aware of. We know almost by rote that capacitors fail. We know that by rote. Yeah, we know that. Yeah. But resistors aren't above doing a few things funnily of their own. No siree. There's no way at all. So again, what I'll do, I'll find out what that valve is because it's not on the circuit here. Although it does say pin 7. It does say pin 7 on the circuit, but I want to check that, and from there we'll find out what voltage there is, because I think there's something else slightly not right here. And here is the circuit of the radio in question. The Little Meastro series, actually, that branding went on a lot of sets at this time, from before the war to after. So what you're looking for, if you can get it, of course, it's written on some sets but not others, typical, is this number here, T66.3. I think this is, I'm not sure exactly, but I noticed the valves aren't written on here. Anyway, the transformer system here is rather interesting actually. It's like a sort of an auto transform, but with another winding for the dial light, which has gone on this. So yeah, it's yeah. Anyway, so it goes to 100k resistor, 100 ohm resistor there to the rectifier. Okay, now 1k and 4.7k. Okay, so from there to there, it should be 5.7k or thereabouts. That's it. I worked out. That was exactly at 1k. That was more or less at 4.7. So they were okay. Rectifier valve is that one. Output valve is a tetrode on these, and also of course, as you can imagine, there's that capacitor there which needs to be changed. Anode of it goes to the output transformer here at the speaker, and that goes down there to there. Okay, fine. So that's okay. This here is okay because that voltage is okay, and that's okay. So that's going to be okay by any stretch of the imagination. Now these have two diodes in them. One is for demodulation to listening to, and the other one is for AGC. The two diodes there and there. Okay, so that's yeah. And so yeah, the volume control is here. It's also worth changing this capacitor here. This is powered to here as well, to there. So it demodulates as well as amplifies the signal, as you can see there. Anyway, that's next. But next one back, of course, is a pentode. It's the IF pentode, standard pentode arrangement. Anode through that, cathode down to deck to, I think it's a 68 ohm resistor, and of course second grid through here, which also leads to this here. This is the frequency converter valve, which on these is not the same as you get on many sets of this kind. It's not an ECH or UCH. It's basically these are known as K valves, EK, DK, something like that. That's what they are. Okay, and what that does is it switches. It takes in the audio up there, and that's the oscillator circuit there, and what comes out is the IF, which goes through here and is demodulated there. That's basically how this system works. That's basically all you really need to know. Capacitors, I've changed in resistors. I'm checking now. So far, we know that's okay. We know that's okay. We know that's okay. So now we're going to look at the next one down, which is the IF amp. The IF valve. That's that's one of them, and that's the other. They're okay. But here, this is the output. This is the cathode resistor here, and it's down at 0.05 volts, I think. No, or something like that. I'll put it down and we'll check again. Yeah, yeah. Now that means therefore that valve is actually weak. So really we do need another one there for the IF, but it's just working, so I'll leave it be. Now coming over here, yeah, with that switched on, thank you. Like that. It's okay, again it's just my probe here, okay, and that one which is also. So they're probably both those are weak, but at least it's doing something, so. So we don't do too much. Now also, this radio as it stands was working without an aerial. Give it an aerial.
Things like that, really dismissive. That's what Enzo Maresca.
This game.
And he even picks up the other Radio 5 Live. Going to long wave, if we can. Like that. I don't know what that is, but it's another station on long wave, probably from Europe somewhere, or Russia. There are a lot of long wave stations in Russia still, so that proves that the radio is no doubt working. Okay, maybe some valves need to be changed, but as it stands, it is now working rather well. No, the next thing therefore is these knobs, which need to be looked at because they all came off in pieces. So that's our next port of call, is getting these off here. They're glued on, by the way, as I said earlier, so this might take some time. But what I'll do, I'll get them off, and I glue them together best I can and put them back on. But the bulb is in now, and this set is working again after goodness knows how long. Wasn't that much wrong with it actually. But the knobs, well, the tops of them are here, and the tops of them are untouched by devastation behind. I've cleaned these up now. Well, I found that the knobs still went straight on, and I couldn't find the three that I'm going to use, so I've left it like that. And when I find three knobs that will do it, I will. But at the moment, they stay on pretty well. So apart from that one, that's a bit easy to bring off. But maybe I can do something with that. Anyway, the set is now working. I've also put the dial lamp on the front.
For me, the hard work.
It comes up in stages because the valves are a little bit warm, but I'm not too fussed about that.
Because you can make one mistake, and then that whole year's gone.
That was Adam Peaty talking to Gordon Ramsay. The Holly that he referenced as the support to him is Holly Ramsay, who is Gordon Ramsay. Yeah, I mean, I think whoever takes that role.
That's Radio 4 long way there.
Greatly suffer.
And I really believe, A, that the Parisians have embraced it already. Yes, some of them have gone away.
So there you are, it's a working radio again after all this time. Anyway, one thing I will say very quickly about this particular radio, two things actually. First of all, the pilot Little Meastro series, that name went on a number of radios, so trying to find the exact match, of course, using pictures, and of course the number if it's on there, which it wasn't on this. So you need to look. This one, by the way, is a T66 stroke 3. Okay, a T66 stroke 3. Now, like I said before, I'll say that again, just for your safety, really, with this. Although it's got a transformer in it, it's like an auto transformer, and so negative transformer goes to deck all the way through, and positive vapor transformer goes to the live on the mains cable, which should be changed, but yeah. So basically, the next circuit there for the valves, which are in series on this. So even though it's got some sort of mains transformer in this, it doesn't actually operate the way it should that way. So, you know, again, be careful with that. Again, don't run it with the back off without suitable protection, because if anything went wrong, like the valve went out or something, it would take a lot out. And if it did that, the AC will still go into the set, and of course, if live and neutral at reverse, at that point the set would be live, so be careful for that. This one is not suitable for, as it stands, for converting to any form of any form of Bluetooth. The other way you could do it, I think, is to go into the volume control with a couple of X or Y capacitors to make sure that it's safe. That's the only way I would do it with that. Anyway, this is it. This is a radio which now works. And so until next time, this is Steve Pendlebury. It's Steve Pendlebury's Vintage Radio Repair Long Stay Workshop. And I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
I don't understand why that is the case. I completely agree with you there, John. But just to find out the final answer here.